Yeah, y'all know I don't really care that much about this football game, but it is what it is, man. You're listening to the it's the All Hurricane Go everything Commanders post game show. It's powered by the Urban Sports Seed and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM at 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia.
Get
Yeah,
it.
you know what I'm saying. This game, I'm telling you, this game. I know a lot of people wanted me to be all amped for this game. I was not amped for this game. I will not hold you. I will not lie to you guys. I just wasn't amped for this game. But you know what? I feel vindicated. Like I was telling folks ahead of time. I feel vindicated. A lot of folks try to get on me talk about like how I thought this game wasn't as like I should have took this game more serious. I feel okay. I feel you know what? I'm not bad. I'm not feeling bad. But anyway, before I get to all my diatribe and whatnot, hey, we got my homie Glenn in the building. Oh man, DH from Breaking Command Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? He's also, host of the Afternoon Kick. Possibly make sure y'all check in and pull up for that. But again, the Washington Commanders defeated the Dallas Cowboys 23-19. What's going on, fellas? Before we get into everything, what's going on? What's the vibe?
Nothing much, man. I keep hearing your voice in my head, man. Throughout the game, I kept hearing your voice in my head. Every time I watched the Commander went down, I kept hearing Worley's voice in my head. I told y'all. I told y'all. I hear another one. Hear Coleman go down. I told y'all. Luvu didn't go down. I told y'all. Jaden get hit one of the first few plays by Michael Parsons. I told y'all.
That's kind of how I felt though. I ain't gonna lie.
I kept hearing your voice in my head the whole game.
I was like, I kind of felt. I mean, I'm glad it's resonated. That's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. I was watching the game. I was like, yeah, I knew it. Like I was like, so this is what y'all wanted. Like this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted to see.
You're not entertained. That's why you're here.
Week 18. This is what you wanted to see. Like week 18. Oh my God, he got to play. This is what you wanted to see.
Crazy, man.
You got to see it though, all in living act, all in real time, man. You got to see all of that. That's where I was at. It was no hate or whatever, but that's where I was at mentally. I was like, dang, this is what y'all wanted to see. This is what y'all like gassed up for me to kind of like to kind of watch and observe. Yeah, I wasn't into it.
I think everybody had a collective blood pressure check in the end of the game because let me tell you something, man. No matter how much people try to downplay it, it's still the Cowboys, and it's something still on the line. Yeah. So when a game that I could have, just checked out, I'm like, it's not a big deal. It's my team is playing, and I want them to win every time they get out there. And the fact that they had this fight, man, the second half fight. And making plays and things looking good, man. I was truly proud of this game and was the perfect cap to a regular season that none of us really predicted. Lake Lewis, I think, is the only one on record who said this team was going to be good. Everybody else was kind of like on the fence about how good we were going to be. But this team, 12-5, finished the regular season on a high note. Glenn, we were talking off camera. Dan Quinn should definitely be in the running for the coach of the year, but he's not going to be when there's two teams with 14 wins. But to really turn this organization around in 1 year, to go from 4 wins to 12 wins, if I'm not mistaken, shout out to Prince George's County for giving me this math, but that's 12 wins, bro. That is a 12. I'm sorry, not 12. That's an 8-win difference. My bad.
Hey, don't do that to my county.
I did that to the county though. It's an 8-win difference, man. So for them to do that, I'm amazingly proud of this team and then the way they performed. And it's the thing that they've been talking about all year. There is no quit in this team, no matter how bleak it looks, no matter how Memphis bleak it looks, bro. There is not a quit. There's no quit bone in this team. And this is the kind of win you need as you head into the second season, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Before we get to
lying,
the game,
Paul. You said 11 wins. You're lying.
He did. No, Paul did though. He did.
Paul did.
I'm gonna flowers. Okay. I'm gonna get Paul. Yeah, he always reminds me to. That's why I know he.
That's how you know he said it.
Yeah, that's why I know he said it for real.
Hey, hold up. I know you got to go, but you can tell teams were sandbagging today. The Patriots got to win. Nobody wants to. And I thought about you. Nobody wants Travis Hunter, baby. Like why these teams keep winning?
Crazy.
They stupid. That's why they win. They stupid. I ain't gonna hold you. They need to be tanked for Travis. But before we get into the actual game, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_everything. And also make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button, like this video. Hit the like button right now. If you're on the Breaking Command Breaking Command Entertainment, if you're on their YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button. Also like the video as well. Also, we are being streamed on the Urban Sports Team X handle, so check us out there if you have to, if you're on X right now. All right. First off, I'll start with you, Glenn. Your overall thoughts on this game, my man.
Tale of two halves. I'm glad we got a good backup quarterback. I mean, it is what it is. The first half, I don't know. Maybe Cliff wanted. He went to the wrong clip, right? He went to the movie clip where there ain't no blanks where ain't no real bullets in the gun, right? He went to that clip, right? You talking about I'm going to my clip early. Well, it didn't work. Well, we talked about it on a pregame. It didn't work because Dallas plays them tough. If you go back to the first game, Dallas has played them tough. Yeah. Dallas has stopped the run. Dallas makes them throw the ball. They couldn't get consistent against this defense. This defense does something to them that nobody else has done all year long. You know what I'm saying? So it's something with Dallas, but till the two half, they was, and I'm glad the second half they was able to do things with Marcus Mariota that his passes was on. They were a little bit softer than Jaden's. I thought Jaden had too much stink on it a little bit earlier. They was on the money, and guys rally around him and play. I mean, Zach Ertz, wanted to get that incentive money. We one touchdown away, but so I think Marcus Mariota is a good backup. We saw this in Carolina, right? We saw this in Carolina when Jaden Daniels was out. Marcus Mariota knows the offense. He's a big supporter. He knows what he's doing. He's a veteran quarterback, so he knows the down and distance situation. And we saw him make a big play on 4th and inches, right? And pull the ball. So again, that's what my thing is. Me and DH were talking about it too. We didn't want this team to limp into the playoffs. I didn't care about the 6th seed or the 7th seed. We talked about it. I really cared about them winning, right? I didn't care about the 6th or 7th seed. I care about this team not limping into the playoffs, but winning into the playoffs. I know they was in, but you don't want to go in with a loss, right? And you don't want to go in a lot of injuries. You want to go in with momentum going and keep going. And I think this team has momentum, regardless of who the quarterback is. And so we'll see some good things out of them. That's my thoughts so far.
What about you, DH?
Hey, man, first off, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. They pull up on every pod, every live stream, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. But I'll say this about the game, man. As I didn't mention it earlier, man, this team has so much fight, bro. In years past, you could have packed it in. You could have given up. But it was still something on the line. And like Glenn said, a tale of two halves, man. The team definitely looked different in the second half with Mariota in there. I don't know if it was maybe calmed down a little bit and they just started to get a little motion, get a little momentum going on. But I loved it. I loved it how they were doing, man. And I think they went in at halftime and realized what was at stake, bro. Like, this is what's at stake. And then on top of that, I guess we'll find out later on if we're going to play Saturday or Sunday. But you want to play well going into the playoffs, man. The second season, bro. You want to play well. So the fact that they came out, played well, they even went into the trick play bag, which we'll get into later. But went into that bag. They wanted to win this game. At the end of the day, it's still the Cowboys. At the end of the day, it's still your rival. And this was the 130th matchup between the two teams, something like that. It's still your rival. It still want to beat the Cowboys, regardless of what's going on in your season. So, and I think they didn't want to finish the season being swept by the Cowboys going into the playoffs. No, sir. So came out there, got the win. No matter how it's done, it got done. 12-5, which is something that many of us wouldn't say. Not Paul. Paul said it. But 12-5 is something that a lot of us would say, and I'm so happy to see this team doing this, and I'm so happy to see them going into the playoffs with some momentum and really going to try to take this playoffs by storm. And who knows what happens? You're in the dance, so now you got to go in there and bust a move. So we'll see what happens next week in the playoffs, baby.
What do you want to say, Glenn? You want to say something?
I want to say, I see all the people in the chat talking about the running game, but they're still a number 3 running team in the NFL, and I don't think it's not B-Rob. Watching the game today, it's the offensive line. I'm sorry. It's not the running backs, man. It is not the anchor of that line. It's not the running backs. This offensive line, the makeshift line that they have right now, is not creating what the running backs need to make a hole. And that's because you didn't see it with Austin Eckler. You didn't see it with B-Rob. You didn't see it with any running back. They put it back there. So if it was just B-Rob, I'd say, it's B-Rob. But it's every running back.
They miss Biotis, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. They miss Biotis. Having a dog center like that, you got to think about it. In Dallas, when he was there, he was the dog of their line. But to have a dog like that in the anchor of your offensive line, being able to make all the calls, being able to help with the pressures and all that stuff, missing him really hurts, but having him back for the playoffs, which I'm pretty sure he will be, having him back for the playoffs will help because you're going to need that run game. The run game has to travel. And then kudos to the defense, man. The defense played pretty well for the first part of the game, holding them to field goal opportunities. I wish they would get their hands on the ball and really get some interceptions and get some turnovers like they need to. But the defense plays well, man. They travel, man.
The one Lulu drop was hurt.
It's right in your grill, bro. You got to have that. But I'll say this, man.
Great play. Great play on there.
But I'll say the Sanders still played amazingly today. I'll even give kudos to St. Juice. I mean, even that call he had,
that was bogus.
I think that was on the refs. That was an amazing coverage by him. I had to go look, man. One thing I will do is eat crow. I eat the yard bird, bro. Trust me. So when I'm wrong, I will go back and say when I'm wrong. St. Juice played above average today. That call that was in the end zone was definitely on the refs. That wasn't on him. He played that well. So the defense stepped up and played an excellent game today. Kept the team in the game. That's all you ask for. And if they can get this run game going for the playoffs, defense and run game, that's what travels. That's what win you the game in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, so let me hear. Go ahead. I want you to go. Go ahead.
He got ran over by the fullback, though. He tried. You can't come out and live in big man land, dog.
He got LaRon Landry.
So. But go ahead,
so I'm not like everybody. I'm not like I'm more like my man Mike. I'm not as happy about this game. Mike said I'm still not happy with the win. They haven't shown they're ready for the better teams. Can't stop the run. That's a big one. Missed tackles. 25. Shaking my head. Already false starts and holding corners, playing 12 yards in front. All right. So this was my issue with this game because it kind of has my overall issue. I thought St. Juice wasn't horrible. I thought, like you said, he got a raw deal in that one call. I'm just annoyed with the lack of discipline. I think that's something that's been a problem through the last for me the last like 5 some odd games, right? You know what I mean? I just felt like people are doing stupid things at untimely situations. You have Deron Payne taking a swing on dude on that after the kick, and I'm like, you lucky, like you just got lucky, bro. Like you got lucky. It could have been far worse. That's just like knowing that you're getting prepared for the postseason. Why are you even going about that stuff? The penalties, you know what I'm saying? Like just the missed tackles, things, just the consistent issues that we've seen with this team throughout for this last stretch of games. Even though we've gone 4-0, and shout out to George for predicting us going 4-0 after the bye. We've still been very sloppy and haven't had any true structure or discipline. To me, and that's a big thing you need going into the postseason.
Is that overall? Do you think that's overall whole team, or is it just one position?
No, it's everybody. It's like it's happening. It's happening consistently. Offense, defense, it's everybody now.
You think you think they smelling themselves a little bit?
I think so.
I think the focus is not there a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the beginning of the season, we were talking about this team don't turn the football over. They're not getting penalties, they're not beating themselves with penalties like this. They're doing this consistently now, and I do think they're fooling themselves. I'm being real. I think they're fooling themselves to a certain extent. You could just go out there and play football, man. Do what you was doing earlier. Like the reason why they jumped up to this lead and to get to the record they were, because we kept talking about them playing clean football, football where they're not beating themselves. Right. They're doing things to beat themselves often now. Like they're putting themselves behind the chains. They're giving teams extra first downs off the stuff that you don't even need to do. Just like, all right, for instance, prime example, Dallas had us like look at Wilson, the face mask play on Mariota. Like that's a bad football team. Bad football teams do that. But luckily we've been finding ways to kind of still win games, but with doing this, you know what I'm saying? But but when you're playing the better teams, to what Mike is talking about, you're not gonna get away with this. Like you're just not. You know what I'm saying? So you got to clean this up. Like all the talk about this team has to be like they're playing this game to prepare, to look clean and prepare for the playoffs. I'm not looking at this game like, they're putting themselves in the best situations to the best situation going into the postseason. And it's not because of wins and losses. That's nothing what I'm talking about. No. It's playing a smart football game, like a clean football game. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you can't throw picks or this, that, and the other, but to a point where
It's
you're not like you're not self-destructive. You know what I mean? You're not beating yourselves. So I'm just saying, like right now, I'm not a fan of that because because the teams that everybody's talking about when you go into postseason, you gotta play this team, that team, whatever. You do this, you're not winning. I'm sorry, it don't matter.
If a team can hold you down to, if you could, what was the last week penalties was 100 or some yards.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. I mean, you talk about, and then you can't let a team hold the football for 37 minutes either and expect to win football.
Yeah, facts.
Right. You can't expect it. You can't, the playoff teams. You can't let them have. You can't let Detroit hold the ball for 37 minutes. You can't let that stuff can't happen because again, your defense has been on break. It becomes, and I'm gonna give. We talk about Dan Quinn being coach of the year. This is probably reason one why, because this team has been penalized one of the most teams in the league. This team has also been inconsistent in certain situations, right? Yeah. And this team does not have this killer instinct, right? You were playing Trey Lance.
Bro, he wasn't that good.
Right, you're playing Trey Lance, and we got cornerbacks still playing 12 yards off, not playing catch technique. You're bailing, cover 3 bail. What happened to catch technique?
I want to echo both of those points, man. That they are undisciplined, man, in certain spots, man. Like I understand you got to have that dog mentality. You got to have enforcers on your team. You got to do some stuff, and that's gonna happen. You're gonna have that, but you got to play smart in these crucial situations. And you know the penalties, bro, like the false starts, I can't deal with those. Yeah. The offsides, I can't deal with those. I mean, St. Juice is gonna be good for a pass interference every week, so I'm just dealing with that now to this point. But it's just like, man, if we can eliminate some of the stupid penalties, like the in-game stuff, you're gonna get holding.
Yes,
you're gonna get depending upon what ref crew you got, you're gonna get roughing the passer because guys gonna attack the quarterback. You're gonna get a pass interference call because they're gonna call one every week because the DBs are not getting their heads around and in position. I mean, that's just gonna happen. But it's the unforced errors, man. The neutral zone stuff, the unsportsmanlike conduct stuff. Yeah. Those things. Those Jamison Crowder fumbling that punt, bro. See, that's the one thing you get with a guy like him. It's either a fumble. Or
Crowder, you thought you blamed it on Crowder or what's
well, they did trip up. They did.
Well, I mean that was on McCaffrey. Yeah, like he got too close and he got pushed into Crowder. Yeah, so Crowder had nothing to do. But like that's the one. Like to me, I don't put that on Crowder.
I take that back. But he has had ball. He has had ball security issues.
I agree. I agree.
Punts previously.
Yeah.
But I also put the fact that if Crowder sees that coming, and I don't know if he saw it, you gotta get out the way.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had time.
He didn't have time. The ball was kicked short. There was a lot of the ball was kicked short.
There's a lot that was going on there. So I'm not sure if he saw what was coming at him, or he was just focused on the ball.
Luke, that was Luke.
But it was Luke. If I say it was Luke, so it was on Luke there.
And to the point of the unforced errors and the mistakes, bro. They got to get these drops together, bro. Like I can't. It was so
many.
Like literally, bro. It was so disappointing to watch the drops, and you can forget all the other drops, but the Olamide Zaccheaus drop in the end zone.
It's the worst one.
When Dyami Brown threw a dot, a left-handed spiral to where only OZ could catch it, and he just pissed down his leg. Like what's going on,
Rice.
Bro?
No rights. Yo, that's why when folks are like, I think George said like he's forgiven. I'm like, nah, he ain't forgiven. No, why he's not forgiven? Because for that one, that's like the easy. You're an NFL receiver.
That's like
you're an NFL receiver. That's like that was their catches, like their NFL catches that are easy, right? Like when you talking about obviously, like even if it's you're using your hands, all right, it's like you get hand catching. That's easy. If you drop it, it's a drop. Like you're supposed to catch it. This was like to me a Pee Wee football high school catch. Like, bro, you got to catch. You're in the big leagues.
It's right.
You can't a touchdown right on the money from a wide receiver. It's not like it's coming with real zip. It's from a wide receiver, and you drop it on the money. Like, come on, man,
bro.
You by yourself though. That's the thing, DH. It's not like the defender waved. You were by yourself,
bro. Let me tell you something.
That is horrible, bro.
This is the example of where a deep ball was so good, it's like a long handoff. That ball was perfect by De'Ami Brown and put it right there where he could only get it, and it was right there in his hands. And it's like I think he couldn't believe how wide open he was, and he dropped the ball.
I want to get to that one, Mike, because that's when I want to talk the drops by Bates.
Yes,
go ahead.
And I just wanted to say this one last thing. If Terry drops the pass at the end of the game to lose the game, you can see that. You can understand that. That was a tough catch to make. That's a very tough catch to make.
You say he should make it. You'd be like, he should make it, but it was a tough catch, though. You would be like, yeah.
But for OZ to have that opportunity in a game, in a spot where they needed a play, because something, and that's why Cliff went to that play right there, because he's like, yo, we need a spark. Nothing is working. We need something. You get that touchdown, that's a spark. This game is long over, in my opinion. But him dropping that really pissed me off, and I was agitated because I'm like, that's one issue that we have too many times. That's why we don't have any legitimate number 2 wide receivers, because everybody drops the ball, Terry included today. So go ahead, Glenn. But I think that does have a part to do with how the ball was coming to them as well.
Zacchaeus became Zacchaeus for a minute. He went back to Zacchaeus from 4 weeks ago, right? He became, but now the Bates drop to me was, Bates doesn't catch balls that much anyway, right? You're a pass blocker. You're getting a gift because Mariota sees you open. You run a good route. You come across the field. The ball is in your hands. You have to secure that. Don't get separated from the football. Like if you want to get more balls thrown to you, make that catch, right? You got a Zach Ertz who's getting a little bit older, who may not be there next year. You got to make that catch, right? You're going into a playoff. You got to get them to trust you. People are not going to trust you as a tight end that can't catch if you don't catch.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be what you are. You're going to be the blocking core. You're going to be the blocking tight end always. And nobody, even my wife, who's sitting out eating dinner, right? We was at a restaurant. They had it on the screen. And she like, who's that? I like John Bates. She like, who? And trust me, she watched Commanders football, so she knows Commanders football. Yeah. But she like, who? Like, they don't throw to him. She said, they don't throw to him.
And him not being able to make those catches will then turn the offense very predictable, because if he's in the game, they're not throwing him the ball. They're going to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he has to make those catches, bro. And I think holistically, the wide receiver and tight end group has to do better with catching the football, because you cannot afford these mistakes in the playoffs, man. You cannot afford these mistakes. They have to catch the ball, and they have to be able to to make these types of plays, man.
Go ahead. What you say, Glenn? Go ahead, Glenn.
I said, we took a minute too, Deluxe. We had to take a minute to calm down.
Yeah, we sure did.
We'd be DH was just chilling like, hey, well, they gonna show up, but
I was watching it just like everything. I was taking it all in. I was excited for Mariota. I thought that, well, let me go on the positive, man. First of all, let's talk about Mariota. Jaden wasn't, he wasn't as sharp as either. The offense wasn't sharp as a whole. But then you got Mariota coming into the game. And at first, I want to say this about Marcus Mariota. Man, I apologize, Marcus Mariota. Because when you came here, I was trashing you. I was like, man, this is the backup you bring in, Marcus Mariota? Look at the stat line: 15 for 18, 161 yards and 2 touchdowns, and a big run to win the game.
That
basically,
4th down run was amazing.
That was amazing, bro. So right? Pretty, bro. Yeah. So I'm gonna give him the run was about, how many yards did he get on that run? He got about 50. He had 33 yards on that run. 33-yard run.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him his flowers, man. I just felt like he stabilized that quarterback room in terms of what Jaden needs. And then when he gets the opportunity to play football, man, he plays at a high level. This is 2 times in a row now. Like, if anything, you should feel confident. If Jaden is out for a series or whatever, that this dude can come in and give his team a spark, because now he's shown it twice, right? Yeah. He showed it against the Carolina Panthers, and then he did it in this game. And that's why I kind of in my mindset, I was like, I didn't really need Jaden to play, because I had faith from what I saw with how the offense works with Mariota and what Cliff Kingsbury could scheme up. I just feel like it's a good mesh, and I felt like it wouldn't be an issue if Mariota started this game, because we've seen him, ball out. Granted, I know what people like, the thought process with people. They're like, they want Washington going into the postseason looking strong and whatnot. You want that with some rhythm, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give this dude his flowers. This dude Mariota didn't know what was gonna happen, came in the game and was just smooth, man. The offense looked good. So just want y'all to talk about. I'm gonna start with you, DH. Talk about the player Marcus Mariota.
And then shout out to Marcus Mariota for making the plays that we needed. I think Felix reported that this was planned that he was going to come into the game and play. Felix reported that.
Right.
So it was cool. I like that, you know. And then frankly, I didn't want any more hits on Jaden, man, because he was getting beat up last year. Yeah, he was.
Back, bro.
But we're not talking about him right now. We're talking about 18. So let me give him his flowers, like you said, man.
Yeah.
18 came in, and like you said, he stabilized the quarterback room. He stabilized the offense in the second half. He calmed everybody down. The offense ran very efficiently. That fourth down play was amazing. First of all, I wish George was here because you know me and him would like to get into this debate about this. But New York should have reviewed that
spot. That was trash. I don't know, like they're lucky. Like they're lucky.
They gave a right foot spot that was 1 yard completely short of the first down.
And I wasn't sure to the ball. Only thing I could say on that spot was that the ball was tucked under him. So they
had no reverse angle view of it.
But they never tried to give us the reverse. They have all cameras. They have all the cameras. They could have gave us that view. They would have gave us that view. They gave us that view. This is my issue. Like, even if he was short, it would have to be an inch, just off common sense. It would have to be an inch or two short.
Yeah.
Because his legs weren't even close to, his knee wasn't even close to being down. There was no elbow, whatever. His body, if you even want to say where the ball was at, just being smart enough, because they can't be that dumb. Like, just to know where the ball should be, at least about maybe an inch off of being a first down, if that.
Right. You look at the football and it's tucked right here.
Yeah.
Even if it's tucked under him, man. Like they said, all it is, the point of the football has to.
That's all he needs. That's all you need.
Or has to break, the first down, and he has it. And I think they definitely should have. I
was waiting for it. Go ahead, DH. My bad. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. But I'll get back to it. But like you said, man, and that great comment by Paul. Marcus did a professional job. He's a professional, and it's one thing and it hasn't happened so much this year, but last year in the league, the backup quarterback became one of the most needy positions because quarterbacks were going down. But to be able to go to him in these spots is crucial because you're like, okay, it's not a big drop off from the offensive performance when he comes in the game, as you saw earlier this season. And one could say it was an upgrade today because of how they played better. But he stabilized the offense. He still has that dog in him. He still has that want to. It's not just he's not just going through the motions there. He still wants to play. He still has that fire in him. And then, like I said, man, that 4th and 1 run, him just being able to have that little wiggle and get through the line and did it in a big spot where it was needed. And then the game winning throw to Terry McLaurin with single coverage backside where you're like, it's Terry or nobody. And for Terry to go up and high point the ball, strong arm, he aggressively caught that ball. He might play Madden, know what it is. He aggressive catch that joint, got the ball. And it was a great culmination to a day where at points in times where it looked like we should have lost this game and we let them hang around. But that's the thing. They find a way to win. And as long as you got more points than the other team at the end of the game, I'll take it. But for Mariota to come in and play as well as he did in these spots, to stabilize the offense and get us to our 12th win of the season. Super proud of him, and I'm definitely confident with him backing up Jaden Daniels as we go forward to the playoffs, man.
What about you, Glenn? Your thoughts on Mariota's performance?
I thought he performed well. I saw the first one, his first performance with Carolina Live. I was at the game when he came in, and I thought he commanded the offense, right? I thought he did what he was supposed to, a veteran quarterback who is the backup supposed to do, right? Cliff Kingsbury calls the game within his wheelhouse. He knows what Marcus can do. What surprised me today, and what surprised me even the first time with Marcus, was his legs, right? Was his wheels, right?
He looked fresh.
He looked fresh, right? He looks fresh running the football, and he's smart, not taking unnecessary hits. I like the fact that he knew the veteran quarterback, or the professionalism that I want to use that Paul said. He knew where the first down marker was at, right? He knew on that play what he had to do on that 3rd and 11 to get the first down, and he was willing to sell his body out for this team. That's that brotherhood for standing up. Yeah. He wasn't going to slide, and that's what I liked about it. I saw the intangible things for Marcus Mariota. But truth be told, I'm gonna tell you when I really got respect for Marcus Mariota is before he even came to the Washington Commanders. When I watched the Netflix quarterbacks, and I saw Marcus Mariota, his preparation, his family, things as I said, you know what? I can respect a guy like that. I respect a guy. And then when I saw him come on this team, I said, you know what? And they let them compete for the spot. I said, they're building something here. And then last week, when you saw Marcus Mariota whisper in Jaden Daniels' ear and told him, like, yo, catch your breath. This your team. Go win the game for us. You knew what kind of bond they had. and you knew what this team has. So there's no fear for Marcus Mariota. No fear for this team. I think is in good hands. I just want Marcus to stay. I mean, right? Because I say that because you got a good room, not because
I know you're right though. No, you're right.
Because you got a veteran room. Don't give him especially if Cliff leaves. Don't give him another backup veteran quarterback. Give him people that he's consistent with, that he understands, that he vibes with, that have a good relationship. Make things as much consistent for him as possible. Don't make him a Jason Campbell, right? But Jason Campbell had 5 OCs in 5 years. Right? Yeah. Make everything consistent for Jaden, and so it could be. But my hats off to Marcus Mariota. 3 touchdowns that in the second half. He contributed to this team, and he's part of this organization. And you know what? They got everybody believing right now. All right.
I want to say this real quick, Wally, before you go, man.
Go right.
Adam Peters signed guys on 1 to 2 year deals, kind of gave a lot of prove it deals, right? And I think a lot of those guys did do that. They proved it. They proved that they had that hunger. They proved they wanted it. Jeremy Chin, Marcus Mariota, Louisville had a 2-year deal. Bobby Wagner, who will be back. Ertz, who I believe will be back. Guys proved it that they still want to play and still can play. When you make those types of decisions in the offseason, you kind of doing it to get you to that next level. And I think that they didn't even expect to be as good as they were with the guys that they got. So you got guys that were in and wanted to prove it. They proved it and now have completely changed the dynamic of this team and how the roster is going to be built going forward, because those positions that you would have had to replenish after this year, you may can wait another year before you can do that. Or you may can bring up somebody else and bring them along a little bit easier, knowing that you'll still have another healthy Bobby Wagner, who is he leading the league in touchdowns? Of tackles this year?
Bobby, I got you.
Yeah. But he had it was another stat they gave him where it's just crazy how many tackles he has. And he looks like he has a couple years left
Bobby
in the
does.
tank, man.
Bobby does.
And I love that for him. But I just wanted to mention that point real quick, man. Having those guys on 1 and 2 year deals, kind of prove it deals. They took the 1 year and helped turn his team around for 12 wins, and they really proved it. So I think there'll be a lot of suitors for some of these guys to go other places, and there'll be a lot of and there'll be Adam Peters wanting to bring these guys back. So like you said, Glenn, being able to have Marcus Mariota in that quarterback room has helped stabilize the quarterback room and really help that bond with Jaden Daniels there for him.
No, I totally agree. What did my man Taj said? But I won't lie. Some of Mario's pocket scrambles scared me.
Like that one where he fell back. You saw the one where he just fell back.
Yeah. No, it's called he reversed the field like 10 yards and then falling. Yeah.
And Bobby Wagner has coming into this game. He had 124 tackles. The leader is Zaire Franklin from the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh yeah, Zaire's a beast.
And Buda Baker's second with 155. Zaire has 165 combined tackles.
Yeah, Buddha a beast too. Buddha's definitely a beast. What did Mike say? Mike said those trick plays and some of those Zaccheaus plays should be for Terry, in my opinion. Would have caught them. He would have caught them. Yes.
Somebody had mentioned, I don't know if I saw it on Twitter or whatever, but they were saying the ways that they're manufacturing touches for some of these other guys should be the way they manufacture touches for Terry. And I thought that was a good point to mention, but I feel like I feel like Terry is just a different dynamic in this offense. Like I just don't feel like Terry, and doesn't even make sense, but I'm gonna try to talk through it really quick.
Go ahead, bro.
It just feels like Terry is the guy, and we know he's the guy, and he steps up in those crucial spots. I don't feel like we have to manufacture touches for Terry for him to get 8, 9, 10, 12 touches a game. No,
right.
Terry is good with getting 5, 6, 7 touches and making those plays, making those big plays, where it's the touchdowns or the key first downs or long third downs, where you look at some of those plays that he got. Terry's a body catcher. He caught the ball with his body across the middle of the field, stuff like that. We don't have to manufacture carries for him. I like the fact how they did Diami. It was kind of doing that with Diami, getting him involved more.
Right. He had one whole drive. One whole drive.
That was just him. It was specialized
for
him.
Crazy.
Specialized for him.
And
which means a lot. This staff likes Diami. People were talking earlier that Diami may be out of Washington after this year. This staff is giving him a lot of responsibility. So
a lot of responsibility and credit. He blocks well.
Conversation,
He blocks well. He'll play special teams. He's been nothing but a stand-up guy in this offense. He continues to get opportunities because I feel like they think he's gonna break one soon, and he might be holding it for the playoffs. May break one of them screens. I really wish they could have saved that trick play for the playoffs. But look, I mean, it's perfect time to see it in game time situation.
But see, hold on. See, sometimes you put things on tape because you want it on tape.
Yeah,
because you got something else off of it.
Yes, sir.
That's true.
Sometimes you put things on tape because you want it on tape. Now whoever they play got to prepare for it.
Yep, just another thing that they got to prepare for. And I like that comment what Mr. Underwood said. Terry is our Kobe. We need Terry to be our buzzer beater like today. Yes, and that play today was the buzzer beater. Single coverage, backside. I'm better than you. My quarterback is gonna put the ball where I can get it. I'm gonna go up and get it, and then I'm gonna trade your jersey after the game because I just beat you, dog. And I'm telling you, bro, Terry is that dude, man.
And if we don't get it, we're gonna line up, kick a field goal, and go overtime.
This is what I do agree with. This is what I do agree with my Trez from the DMV Sports 3. Like I want Terry to be utilized the same way like the Cowboys was utilized CeeDee Lamb, how some of these other dudes, because at the end of the day, he's your biggest weapon, your biggest threat when you throw that football. You know what I mean? What he can do, like he's your biggest weapon, biggest threat. And you just kind of want to get him involved more, acclimated more, so he can make these big plays rather than trying to wait on it for like to be your Kobe Bryant or your savior, your Michael Jordan, your savior. You know what I mean? Your Damian Lillard, your savior. Like, you know what I mean? You want to get him off kind of early so you won't be in those situations.
But with the same analogy though, right? Even at the end of the game, man, Kobe would pass it up to Robert Horry so that he could take that shot. Yeah. And I think that's how this offense is set up. Why you want to get the ball and force it to Terry. Other guys are going to be able to benefit from defenses scheming up to try to shut Terry down.
But I think we've seen that all year, right? Last week it was Zach Ertz. This week was Terry. We had Bears game. It was Noah, right? Yeah. So it's been different heroes every week, right? It wasn't always
OZ, Jamison Crowder,
Jamison Crowder, right? OZ, right? So it's been different people. So different people. So Terry understands his role. Sometimes Michael Jordan will give it to John Paxson, right?
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Magic Johnson will hit I'm gonna show my age with Michael Cooper in the corner or Byron Scott, right? Yeah. Hit him in the corner, right? And the facts, right? So again, sometimes you have to be able to distribute it in order to get the dub, right? It ain't always Steph Curry. Sometimes it's Klay Thompson for some of you younger fat cats.
And even with that, right? Terry still has been consistent, and Terry's still going to get his. Terry doesn't have to get manufactured touches. He's still going to get his. Like he broke the touchdown record today with 13 touchdowns. And then at one point, right? And at one more time, he was second in the league with receiving touchdowns, like only behind Jamar. He's still second, he's still only behind Jamar Chase. And you know what I'm saying? So Terry still is doing Terry, and they're gonna find Terry in crucial spots. But Terry still plays well. He still goes out there and does his job. He still makes his plays. He doesn't pout. He doesn't turn into George Pickens if he doesn't get the football. He doesn't turn into Antonio Brown if he don't get the football, where they pout, got attitudes and upset. He still go out there and do his work. So that's what I love about Terry, because even when his number is called, he's gonna make the play. So when his number is called, he may be upset and frustrated, but he's gonna make the play to prove to you why you gotta keep continuing to give me the rock.
I forgot to remind y'all, if y'all feel like supplying us with some super chats, go ahead and go for it.
Yeah.
Don't feel like doing it, just go do it. You know what I mean? Just you know what I mean?
You want me to get the train? You want me? I get the train rolling there. Hold on, with my phone there.
Hey, Darnell, to your point, Coleman came back into the game.
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah,
even Frankie Louisville was hurt. He came back too.
Yeah, Louisville came back.
He came back.
So Coleman's not down as we thought, because again, I held my breath for a minute, right?
I thought it looked like an ankle injury. It wasn't
like
ankle injury. It was an ankle injury.
Like DA said it earlier, but Hadish is the guy. Is the guy that makes this whole thing work, right? It makes this whole thing work. So Hadish coming back, which I think they kept him out today for precautionary measures anyway. But he comes back next week when they play. This O-line will be okay. I think we'll see the running game a little bit better next week.
Yeah.
Because of this O-line getting together. I'm not sure if we know who they play right now. Because Rams still got to play, right?
They're the 6th seed.
They're 6th seed, so Rams still got to play. Well,
Tampa. I think Carolina beat Atlanta. Atlanta's out, right?
Yeah, Atlanta's out. Tampa won. Well, Tampa had won anyway, so it was.
They had to win anyway.
So Tampa got 4.
Let me see. I'm looking.
It would probably be the. It would probably. Well, we'll see how the Rams. We got to see the
Rams had a 3 seed right now. And so the Rams right now are holding at 3. They're 10-6, and they're playing Seattle. The Buccaneers in the 4th seed are 10-7. So I believe
if
that
the Rams lose tonight.
Yeah, if they lose tonight, they'll both be 10-7. Do the Bucks have a head-to-head over the Rams this year?
They don't have the head-to-head, but Bucks will get the nod for the 3.
Gotcha.
Didn't they play this year? Did they play each other this year?
I thought they did. I don't know.
Let me double check. But
well, somebody pull up because Paul. Yeah, Rams are resting everyone. I know. Paul thinks we'll play the Rams. Rams when we play them. The Rams when we play them.
Right. I'd really like to play the Rams. Not even because
I play the Bucks too. The Bucks ain't playing good football right now.
I mean, I don't know, man. I want to see Jaden indoors on a fast track, bro. I think our offense indoors. They
both hot, they both warm. Areas.
No, I'm just talking about just indoors.
Oh, I mean, he's been outside nowadays. He's used to it now, bro.
Genuinely, I really don't care. Yeah. But like the story is setting up to get back on Tampa Bay because a lot of people have saying a lot of people have been saying anyway that we want that get back on Tampa Bay because we're a different ball club from Tampa
exactly. Bay. I'd rather get my rematch.
I don't care whoever we play, but you know, I can't choose. It don't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know.
I feel you. Either way, man. We won't get into it, but I guess I want your thought process on this. Do you feel like, and folks in the chat, y'all can go ahead and say what you want. Do you feel like them playing this game at full speed was really truly worth it? And I'm gonna start with you, DH. Was it truly worth it? Like
was playing this game?
Yeah, everybody, pretty much everybody playing. Like Jaden, the whole thought, like having Jaden out there. What we didn't put having Jaden out there, having Terry out there. Was it truly worth having? Was this game worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I
thanks
for shout out to Santiago.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you saying even though we played some sloppy ball for a while, we are 12-5. True that, bro. That's the one cool thing.
They can't.
We 12-5. I can't hold you, man. We 12-5.
They can't take it away.
That's the one thing I do like. I do like that, bro. But go ahead, DH. I'm sorry.
I think yes. I think because you want to be able to get the best position in the playoffs. And you still want to have a little momentum going into the playoffs. And you want to beat Dallas, bro. Like, the NFL knew what they were doing, making all these games divisional games. So they want to make this last weekend of the season worth something. And no team want to just sit on their rival and just like, nah, I'm not going to put that much effort into it. No, we want to beat them guys. I think Dan Quinn really was blown. Now, had they beat them the first game, maybe some guys sit. But I think it was just cautious how they want to do it, man. You want to monitor the guys playing. Shout out to Paul. You want to monitor. You want to monitor how they play. Want to make sure. You want to make sure that nobody is doing too much or don't want to get anybody hurt. But the fact is, if we come through unscathed, with no injuries, no real injuries, still got the win, still able to go to 12-5, and yes. Black, yes, we really do have momentum, bro. 12 wins going into the playoffs.
See, that's
what I agree. No, see, this is the thing. I think he has a point, though. This is what I'm saying. His point is, does the offense does like you have momentum with the wins? Yes, but do you really have playing momentum though?
I don't. But
you have confidence.
Which I think those are two different things. Which I do this point.
Let me say, you have confidence momentum that you can win.
Appreciate Taj. Thanks, Todd. Right? Appreciate you.
You have offensively, you don't have momentum because I said this for weeks. The offense is struggle, right? But you have defense has gotten better, right? A bend won't break. You have momentum that if you keep it close, you can win football games, right?
Okay. I don't think the defense has gotten better. I won't lie to you.
No. When I say getting is a bend don't break. This has been a bend don't break defense all year, right? It's been a bend. When you're giving up 3s and not 7s, right? I take that, right? But you're giving up, you're letting people come down the field. And we know with that box, this team was giving up 7s. There's a lot of games this year. If this team give up 7s, they lose. Right? So they was able to give up 3s. Now that's still I'm not giving Joe Witt a pass because there's some things that Joe Witt does that is a head scratcher, right? Yeah. Right? But because this team winning blocks out a lot of stuff. But go to your original question. Yeah. I wanted this team to play players to play. Yeah. So if they played real well, hey, you take that as momentum to keep rolling.
That's what be momentum. Yeah,
right?
That would be momentum for me.
Right? You didn't play well. Guess what? We need to go back to the drawing board and get some things right. Because guess what? Even though we won, we still sucked in the first half.
Yeah.
There's some things you need to look at. You need and evaluate. Is it Jaden? Is it offensive line? Is it receivers? And why we're not catching footballs? And DH, you said it, or Wally, you said it. Those games will lose you in the playoff.
Yeah.
Every game, those things will lose the playoff game. It's a one-game season right now. Nobody cares you. Next week, we don't care that 12-5, right?
Yep.
We don't care that 12-5. We want you to win the next 4.
Yep. That's
it.
Go
DH, you want to
so go back to that Arch comment. You know,
right.
they preach that every game matters. You don't change up what you do or your message. Now, guys that legitimately needed rest, that had injuries, cool, you rest them. But I think resting guys right now, when you still have something on the line.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
That's my sister wrestling coach, Birch.
Oh, man, you appreciate you, though.
Appreciate you, Birch.
Shout out, man. Go ahead.
Resting guys right now that don't need rest, I feel like it's a give up. And I'm going to tell you what, something we talked and complained about all season was having a late bye week. We just had a bye week. If you don't need rest, play ball, because you're the guy that's going to have to play next week. So we had this long bye week. We just had it 4 weeks ago. And I think winning is momentum. But like you said, Glenn, next week, it won't even matter. But this is the time where you work through your kinks. Whatever's wrong, we got to figure it out. We don't know. We don't know some of these plays don't work unless we try them. I'd rather them get the drops out of their system this week than have them in there next week. Right. So this is something that you can go in this week and coach to. Like, guys, we have to catch the football. And if it's something that Glenn said that, Jaden may be throwing it with too much zip, Jaden, you got to get some touch on some of these footballs to give our guys opportunity to catch the ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff that they can still coach to. So I say, yes, winning game is momentum. But I think momentum is a state of mind, bro. Momentum is not an actual tangible thing. It is a state of mind. And I think winning the 12th game of the season gives them a mental momentum, gives them mental confidence that they can beat any team that they play and continue to win, even if they don't play their best. But they're still going to try to play their best. But they're going to win in spite of. So I believe that is mental momentum that they're getting going into the playoffs.
I got a question for you guys.
I was going to say something. I want you to go first.
No, go ahead.
Say it.
I ain't going to forget.
So for me, there's winning momentum, but I think it coincides with playing good football though too, or playing something at a high level. You could be winning games and barely squeaking by. Now that squeaking by, that gives you a clutch gene, which is a good thing. A clutch gene is good, but you do understand your weaknesses, and you're not. Your confidence isn't as strong as if you're playing well and doing it. For example, if I'll use me coaching, like coaching basketball. Like my kids, we had 1 year we were like dominating like every week. Like 1 week we win 40-10, then we would win like 60-5. Then that was momentum. Like every week that was the goal. Like that, the belief and the confidence was there. Like, and I've had years where we've squeaked by wins, and the confidence wasn't the same. You know what I mean? Like you would be concerned about certain things throughout the game. You weren't like, it's going to work out. Now you may pull it out towards the end, because when it got to a certain point, you pull out toward the end. But there were things where when we played a better team, once we got to play a better team, that wasn't taken advantage of anymore. Like then it was like, okay, the confidence kind of lacked a little bit. So you want to always go playing clean ball. To me, that's where momentum is. Yeah. Playing clean and playing well. Now there is something to affect that. Once the game is tight, you know how to pull it out. Like I'm with that. Like I'm with that part. Yeah. But when you're playing a better team, like you can't, like it's hard to say you're gaining momentum when you're beating a rookie quarterback and Michael Penix who missed a lot of throws. When you beat Trey Lance and the Dallas Cowboys, right? When you beat like those games, you're not gonna look at it and say like this is garnering awesome momentum. Like the Eagles game, I'm taking that for stride. I don't care. You beat the Eagles. I don't care. I'm taking that one. No one can take that away from me. But like you can't. I won't come in and say like this is building momentum, because again, like the issues that we've talked about throughout the season has been the same issues for real talk. Like for instance, stopping the run has always been a thing. Like we didn't stop the run today either. Like that's been a thing. So I can't come in and say we're going to fix that. We haven't fixed it. Drop passes, it's really the same culprit. To be real with you, like we're going to say as a team, it's really like a couple. Like it's really one dude that plays a lot that drops the ball a lot. You talk about Bates as a tight end, he drops the ball. Like he's done that before this regime. That's a thing. Zacchaeus, as much as like the reason why I was hard on Zacchaeus is because he was dropping footballs. He dropped a lot. He dropped the out route here. He dropped that key bomb, from Diami. He dropped that one too. Now he made a couple good grabs, but he drops the football.
It's because you expect more from your brother.
You know, I do, but that's what he does though. But I expect it though. You know what I mean? Like my expectation for him is not. I know, I know, but but the expectation, I can't change your expectation when you are who you are. You know what I'm saying?
But Wally, did you suck your teeth when he dropped the ball?
I did.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. I said Jesus. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
And then we get from George. But you said something. This team has learned how to. At this point, you should have developed, be able to shift from close game mentality to a dominant mentality, right? And I say that. Look at the rest of the teams that are going in the playoffs. Detroit not talking about close game mentality, but I think we also have a double standard because when the Kansas City Chiefs was winning games early. When they was winning games by blocked field goals, by by interception by Joe Burrow late by the skin of their teeth. Oh, that's good play, right? They winning football games. Washington winning close football games is a different kind of narrative. So it's based off the team. You see what I'm saying? It's a double standard sometimes based off who the team is. Now, this is a young team who's gelling together, who have veteran players. You have to teach this team how to win. And we're not there yet, but we got to teach this team how to win. They should know how to win now. I guess going into the playoff is a 40. You have 60 minutes left for football. Everybody going into playing next week has 60 minutes of football left, right? So now is Dan Quinn's job. We talk about how great this coaching staff is. It's Dan Quinn's job. It's Cliff Kingsbury's job. It is the job of the veterans, Bobby Wagner, who's been there. Those guys that say, you know what? Talk to some of the young guys. This is important. Every day, every rep this week, every play this week, we can't have drop balls. We can't have fumbles. We need to show up. This is the biggest game you probably play in your life right now. And then next week, guess what? You win. This game will be the biggest game you ever play in your life right now. So again, that momentum has to come up. These guys they've learned how to win. That's all when you're changing a culture from 4 and 13 last year to where you're at now, to change your culture, you have to learn how to win. So now they've learned how to win regular season football. Now they got to learn how to win playoff football in big moments. Now, will some of the past things help them? Yeah. When you're down, if it's 4th down and you need a Hail Mary, guess what? In Jaden, we trust. Because we as a fan say that, right? Right? As a fans, we say Jaden we trust.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And the fans, we want Jaden to have the ball last, right? Like,
that's true. That's true.
Right? So, we believe. So we're believing. So they believe that as well. So now the point is, as fans, we just don't want you to be that part. We don't want you to see like that every week. We want, like he said, we said in pregame, this game should have been over halftime, right? We shouldn't be sweating, waiting for 6 seconds left waiting for Marcus Mariota to throw a pass to Terry McLaurin. That's what they have not got yet. And that's what we haven't seen yet. There's only been one game this year that's been over at halftime. And that was two. The Tennessee Titans and the Carolina Panthers.
Game.
Every other game this Washington team played has been nail biters.
Yeah, it's
has it really? I thought we had a couple more blowouts.
My boy texted me. He's like, "D, I'm almost 50. I can't do more nail biters like this, bro." I feel you, big dog. I'm almost 40 and I can't do it either. But I say this, man, it's like they're learning how to win in the regular season. And Glenn, like you said, they're gonna have to learn how to win these games in the playoffs, and that comes with building up the callus for your squad, and that comes with just working
Browns too. Go ahead.
And trying to get that winning motion back. And that's the thing, man. Winning these games in spite of the issues that's happening, good teams figure out a way to do it. And we're becoming a good team. We're gonna have to have some winning moments. And that's the thing. When you're in situations where winning moments are needed, we've been doing it. So they're learning how to win in those clutch spots. The key is gonna be it's now moving. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Now the key is gonna be throughout the game. It's getting away from having to have those winning moments. It's being consistent in the first 3 quarters of the game so that when you get to the 4th quarter, you don't have to, have a Hail Mary, or you don't have to have a last-second touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin because the game should have been over. And I think that's just something that they're learning how to do. And the one benefit to that is being able to learn how to do that and not sacrifice your win-loss record. That's a bonus to the team and to the coaching staff. That's saying that we're still playing well enough to get it done while we're still growing and making mistakes.
Darnell said, can Noah Brown come back for the playoffs? I ain't got a kidney injury, I think.
Yeah, I think his injury was a little more serious
It's a little
than
serious.
what was led on. So I don't.
Yeah.
They haven't even talked about him.
I mean, I spoke to Lake about it. I think I mean, there's it's a small hope, but his guess he's gonna be out for the year. That's his guess.
Okay, the rest of the year.
But we'll see.
I just want Lattimore back, bro. I want.
I mean, no knock on Noah Brown, but
yeah,
I
Noah's
think
done. Noah's done for the season.
I mean, I don't think Noah's the biggest. I mean, I think the other receivers have stepped up. I mean, I know he dropped. I mean, but Noah has some drops too. So I'm not gonna act like Noah didn't drop any passes either.
Every receiver on this squad has dropped.
Yeah, they've dropped. So
it's not like,
and Zacchaeus has had a good performance. Zacchaeus had a decent game. He had 50 yards receiving, 51, I believe, yards receiving today. In terms of yardage, should have had more. That's on him, but still. Like George said, hopefully Lattimore will be able to play next week. That's the big thing, bro. He's definitely a difference maker.
He will. I think he plays next
week.
Bro,
I will say this. I will not hit. It's a hamstring. There is no definiteness about a hamstring injury, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro, that joint goes. That joint comes and goes.
It does, bro. It does.
It's just, and it's tough. But like you said, this was the perfect example of a game that you could rest the guy that has a legitimate injury, where you don't want to force him back too fast, and you still have comparable guys that can cover him in that situation. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate you, man. But that's the thing, man. He took a rest this week. I'm hoping he's 75, 80, 90% next week to play well, and that's just all we need. And that depends, man. I really want to see when they're gonna come out with this schedule, man, because I really don't want to play that Saturday game, bro.
It's coming after. Well, we will not find out the schedule until after the Minnesota game.
Saturday game.
So you have to wait till about 11 o'clock tonight to get the schedule.
That's fine. I'll be up. And look, I'll be pulling for Detroit, man. I'll be pulling for Detroit, man. I rock with Detroit, man. I think they're a good ball club, but I think if they don't win that Super Bowl this year, bro, that window's gonna slam shut, bro.
But you know, that city's happy with where they at. They want to win.
They are.
But that city's happy. They're like us. Football has been so bad for so long.
Oh, they won the Super Bowl.
But their football has been bad longer.
All seven teams want the Super Bowl.
Sure.
But if they don't get the Super Bowl, I think the city will be.
I know some people in Detroit. They won it now. Last year they got their beat with last year. They won it.
They want to get there. They weren't going to win the Super Bowl last year.
Oh, they want to go to the bowl. They think it's Super Bowl or not for them to get there. I'm not saying win. That's because once you go in, you got to play Pat Mahomes typically, and that's not a guarantee. But it's to get in.
Yeah, that's not a guarantee.
Yeah, but they expect to go to the Super Bowl. Like real talk, they do expect it.
I honestly believe, and I'm not taking anything away from my guys. I just don't think we're there yet. But I think it's gonna be Detroit Buffalo, bro. Like I truly think it's gonna be either Detroit Buffalo or Detroit Baltimore.
I think Baltimore goes.
I say Baltimore. And Lamar need to get one to cement his.
I think he gets. I think their team as a whole is playing real strong football. But we're gonna open the lines up. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to come in and say your thoughts on the game? Couple minutes. It's open. Let me put this on.
Hey, so while we getting people to come in, I want to share this real quick, man.
Go ahead, bro.
DH, you said it. And I want the guys in the chat to understand or answer this question. What is success for this team in the playoffs? What is success for the Washington football team in the playoffs?
You want me to answer after the callers?
Yeah, we
answer after.
And think about it and drop in the chat your answer. What is success for this team in the playoffs?
Go 301
question while you're on too. Paul,
ABG.
You know what? Hey, Glenn, ask the question to Paul. That's a good question.
Paul, what's up, man? Paul, what's
going on, boss?
Not much.
What is success for this Washington Commanders team in the playoffs?
One victory.
One victory? Okay.
Divisional playoff. They get to the divisional round. I'm happy.
Okay.
They get to the NFC Championship game. That's just pure gravy on it for real. But divisional win.
Okay.
Divisional win. That's about it.
All right. So Paul, what's your overall vibe on what we just saw today?
First, everybody in the chat had great comments. So did y'all. And listen to everybody. I just gather my thoughts on it. This team, and I said it before, I've been saying all year, their maturity levels to the point where they don't execute at a high level on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing from a young football team. Like, they can execute on a high level late in games. All of a sudden, they just snap to the point where they're playing great, that they can't do it over a 60-minute game. And that's what you expect from young football teams. They just don't like the little things. They all sides. They false start. They drop passes. They don't execute at a high level consistent consistently, and then all of a sudden it just turns on when like their back is against the wall, then they just focus. Well, they need to learn how they have to play like that all the time. That's why the Chiefs can afford to do that, because they have executed at a high level for so long. They can kind of like, oh, we'll just take our time, whatever.
True.
Right now, we're like doing reverse engineering. We're winning off of just, big plays or surviving, but we're not executing. And like everybody said, once you get in the playoffs, you just got to execute at a high level consistently. And then if they're not going to do that, they get one win, great. They get division level, great. But right now, to me, just being real, I see them, they're Jekyll and Hyde as far as execution. And they got a lot of heart, and that's what they've been playing with, a lot of heart.
Yeah.
But,
Paul, let me ask you this while you're here, man. Do you think that even with them winning the way that they have been at this level, does that not speak to anything? Like the fact that they have been able to do it in spite of, does that not speak to the overall just nature of the organization and the coaching staff? Does that not help them get the confidence and help with the maturity level?
It does, but you have to. I'm gonna give you a little background. I used to coach basketball like Wale.
Okay.
So me looking from that perspective as a fan, yeah, it's great. But me looking from coaching experience, it's like we're not playing well, and that's good. It's great for morale. Okay, let's be honest with you. It's great because the organization been down for 25 plus years. The fans are coming back. We got brand new paint on the stadium. Everything's gravy. But if you really want to get up in the high level, they have to compete at a high level consistently, and everything else is good. Don't misunderstand me. It's just I'm looking at it in a broader picture. Like, all right, we winning, but we're not winning. And while we did this a while back, we want them to win.
Yeah, exactly.
We want them to dominate from look consistent at a high level 1 through 4, and they're not doing that. They go through lapses. Then all of a sudden, third or fourth quarter come around, they're playing like, wow, they're playing like they're the best team in the whole NFC.
Yeah, and it's the thing we talked about this too is it's more of like you gotta project who you gonna play against. For instance, like this works against the Dallas Cowboys and Trey Lance. Right. But we're talking about going to playoffs. Is that working against Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams? No, probably not. You know what I mean? Like, so how you play, just like a job interview, how you set yourself up in your job interviews. It's hopefully how you land that job and how you work in that job from years to come. And it's up to you to maintain after that, right? The same thing here. Like this is like basically you gotta show your best foot. You put your best effort out there because your best effort is gonna breed consistency. Because that's the whole thing we talking about, right? It's consistency. If you play good against the Sisters of the Poor, and then you're playing, then you play that same type of effort in terms of like I'm playing hard and playing clean. You're gonna be tough against some of the power teams in the NFL. Period. That's just how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll dominate the bad teams, but when you play, just like we saw them earlier, that's why I was like early in the season. We were dominating teams, and then we played the Ravens. We competed against the Ravens. We played these other teams. We dominated the bad teams, and we played against the tough teams. We still competed against them. So my thing is like, if you're playing like how they're playing now in terms of the sloppiness, you're not going to get that type of effort against a good team.
So Wally, you want them to look more consistent.
That's all it is, consistency.
Okay, now, but here's the thing with the consistency, right? It's like nothing in this league this year has been normal or has been consistent. It was the chart that came out early in the year that of all the teams that have gotten beat. It was like 1 week where a team that shouldn't have lost got beat, and then the team that beat them played another team that they shouldn't have beat. Like it's just how it goes. But I just think at the end of the day, however you get it done. Because nothing about football, and y'all know, y'all play sports, nothing about sports is normal. There are going to be anomalies in the games. There are going to be things that happen. There's going to be injuries. There are going to be mistakes. There are going to be everything that happens in a game that is not going to go just, how you script it out in your first 15. And being able to find ways to win when those moments are happening is how you want to do it. So that's why I'm very exactly. But that's why I'm proud of this ball club, because while they are in those situations where they are messing up, they are having penalties, they are doing dumb things, they are dropping the passes, they are having winning plays and winning moments, and they're still getting it done. So as we're going down that line, as we still are winning, yes, we want to clean up everything as we can go. And I think next year, we'll have the opportunity to clean that stuff up as we go along, and it'll look more consistent. It'll look more, buttoned up and look better as they go and win the games.
Yeah, it's not more like for me because I think you are who you are. So that's not the like. I'm not talking about like talent wise. You are who you are. Like if you ain't great at catching football, you ain't great at catching football. So I can almost, if you can't cover, you can't cover. Like I'm not gonna put that into the term of consistency, but the things you could control, like you could control, like not lining up over the neutral zone. You can control not getting personal fouls and roughing like personal fouls. Like in terms of like throwing punches, you can control that. You can control real talk. You can control going offsides and false starts. You can control that. That's under your control. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Consistency in that. Clean that up. You clean that up, I'm okay with it. I'll give you an example. Washington got waxed by Tampa. I didn't go out thinking that like, oh, we weren't consistent in that game. I didn't even say we got waxed by Tampa. I didn't say, I was like, yo, Tampa just beat us. The better team just beat us. There's a difference between you going to a situation where you're playing this game here. We won, but you can say in this game, this was sloppy. This was sloppy football. Not because of plays, this, that, and the other. This was just sloppy football. You can be off throwing the ball. You can be inaccurate. Like I'm not even talking about Jaden. Jaden wasn't sharp. I'm not even talking about that being part of it. That's not even part of what I'm talking about. It's more of it didn't hurt us thoroughly, but Deron Payne throwing a punch. That's stupid. Mm-hmm. Why? Like why? That shows me something. You know what I mean? Like, yo, get back to that lane of what it was before when you were scared about this regime. Like you were shook. You didn't know what was going to happen. I need that mentality back.
Look, I also too agree with this, and of course, Paul. We always appreciate you pulling up, man. Paul always pull up to the show. But you know what? I think with us right here, we're fans. Everybody watching is fans. Yeah. We're learning what winning football looks like. This is not something that we've had in years. So now, and the thing about it is, this is where I kind of step away. I'm like, look, I don't care how it gets done. I just want them to do it because they haven't won enough in the past for me to feel snobbish about a win. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't believe we won that game and we played the way that we played. We don't. No. No. We've in the past we lost those games. So I'm not snobbish enough to be like, no, we should win a certain type of way. No, we should win the game. Period. At point blank. So the fact that we're winning, I'm good with that. I will never be mad at a win. I'll be mad at stuff that happens throughout the game, but I'll never be mad at the win because that's the ultimate goal of football. And that's the ultimate goal of any sport. The goal is to win, no matter how it looks, no matter how it happens. You know what I'm saying? As long as we do it, we win. But I'm not snobbish enough yet as a fan to be like, no, we should not win this way. We should win going away with Jaden Daniels throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. It should be an easy win. There should be no problems there. We should win going away. It should be no issue. No, win, regardless of how it looks and how it happens.
Hey, quick, Paul, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Quick, DH, on the flip side, you appreciate the win, but then again, you get mad at how we lose again. We should have won. You get mad at that. And that's what Orlando's saying.
Absolutely. No, because, I agree. I agree with you.
Because the reason why you lose in the games like that is because of the performance you had against games like this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of want to keep it together. But hey, Paul, man, appreciate you, bro.
Right, all right,
man.
Paul.
All right, man. But yeah, I'm back. I agree with you. Like there is a thing about winning football games and trying to, you take a win in any which way you can. He said it should have been an easy win today. Yeah, it should have been, but it wasn't.
Hey, Wally, I think I'm gonna bring out that's gonna be my snobby fan voice.
I like that joint. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Should have won today. It should have been no problem. The Dallas Cowboys starting a third stringer in Trey Lance.
Look, man, should have won. I mean, I'm not. Again, I guess for me, I don't really care. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't really care about this game. I really don't. Like, this game has nothing. Like,
but if they would have lost, you'd have been upset.
Oh yeah, because I hate the Cowboys. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a fan, though. I'm different, though. But you know what? In the back of my mind, I picked against them, so I knew we were gonna win. Because I have this thing going. Like, I'm winning. I'm hot. You know what I'm saying? So I knew we were gonna win. So, but no. All jokes aside, though. But yeah,
not picking this next week either, huh?
Hell no.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
It's working. So stay
away from it. I don't go against something that works.
wear those same socks, wear those same pants.
Wear what I need to wear. I'll hang out with the same chick. I will do what I need to do in life.
Hey, shout out to her to getting a fully committed Wale while the Baby, listen, I can't switch up nothing. All right, so we're going to Jasper's. We're getting Tiger Wings. I ain't switching up nothing, baby. All right?
No, I ain't going to Jasper. They ain't shooting me. They ain't shooting me.
We're getting a takeout order from Jasper's, baby.
You're a takeout order. Yeah. You're a takeout order. Hey, Deluxe, I disagree with you. You can see a winning formula from afar. You can see how perennial contenders are built and recognize it in Washington. Yeah.
Hey, Arch, man. You know what? I love you, man. You can disagree with me, brother. Trust me. I'm not one of those guys where you have to agree with me on our show. No,
I know, right?
Disagree with me, man. But truly though, I think this year as a whole has kind of given fans a new perspective on football. And I said this after I forget which game it was. I felt as though as the season went along, we started to expect Jayden Daniels to play well and win because that's what was happening. And I think what fans still had to realize is that he's still a rookie, is that, this team is still building. This team is still a young ball club, but finding a way to do it in spite of, that's really what it's about. But yes, they definitely got to continue with the momentum and, cleaning it up a little bit will make it feel a little bit better, even if you get the win. But cleaning it up a little bit, make it feel a little better.
All right, and Glenn, these are answers to your questions. So I kind of saved it for you.
Got you.
Here you go, Jared. You say what would success be like in the postseason, right? Here's Jeremy. Success is a win. No silver lining.
Paul said winning that wild card game.
Yeah. Darnell said to win 1 or 2 games, minimum 1 game in the postseason. George, I like this. I like this one. It's different. Success is finding a running game.
I'd like that.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. Also, success is 2 wins in the playoffs. 2, dang.
That's gravy on top, baby.
That's championship. That's NFC championship game. Okay, yeah. I ain't mad at you.
No, and the reason I asked, because coming into the season, we talked about not too many people pick this team to go win 9 games, right?
Yeah.
So going into the playoffs, if I'm Dan Quinn, I'm looking at this team like, we playing with house money.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're playing with house money right now. We've already reached not reached the pinnacle, but we exceeded expectations this year, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're playing with house money. For everything for us right now is gravy. We have no fear, right? We're grateful. We're just grateful for the opportunity to play football right now, right?
And the coaching staff is not going to tell you that they over exceeded the expectations, because when they every coaching staff is like, we expect to win the Super Bowl every year. They got to tell you that. But when those backdoor meetings, those closed door meetings, they say, hey guys, look, we want to at least try to get 2 wins better than what last year. So we win 6-7 games, man. It's a solid season. It's a good thing for us. But now they're super excited because they won way more, and I think the goal definitely is to win the Super Bowl, because you are in the playoffs. And like I said earlier, man, winning multiple playoffs games will be gravy. I think that first game we can get a playoff win. That's super success for me for the season as a whole, because I didn't expect none of this, right? So
not
winning
until week 4, like after they beat Cincinnati, it was like, you know what, dang, this team got a
good team. No, it's a good team.
Them winning the wild card game would be, I'm good with whatever happens after that. Them winning 2 playoff games, then I'm like, whoa, this is unexpected. But that's the thing I love about the NFL. It's so final. It's so I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but and that goes to back my whole thing I've been saying all day. They've been doing this, even making mistakes. So not necessarily saying that can't happen in the playoffs, but it might. You know what I'm saying? So it's like being able to still have penalties and still have mistakes, and in those winning moments still be able to get the job done. That's good. I enjoy that. I like that, because that's the thing. If it comes down to a winning moment, that's like, in the NBA, when let's say LeBron got an off shooting night, or let's say Kobe had an off shooting night, Jordan had an off shooting night, but they still went to them at the end of the game and they made that 14-footer to win the ball game. That's all you care about, bro. If they have 16 points, but 2 of the points are game winners, I'm perfectly fine with that.
If I was a gambling man, I should have bet money in Vegas, baby. They only expect 6 wins, 6.5 wins,
bro.
Yeah, he be hating. Adam Rank be hating on this stuff. It's all good.
Oh, he definitely hating on that.
It's all good.
Well, DH, you said something there, man. This team, going into, if you take the last 4 wins, right? We said they had to win. One for said 3 out of 1, 3 wins, 1 loss. There's not any of those games that this team played a complete game in.
Mm-hmm.
And right, if I'm not mistaken, you can't say
that Titans game was pretty.
No, but that's not the last 4. That's not the
you said last 4. Oh, not at all. They've been trying.
I'm talking about the last 4. I'm talking about the last month.
The
last month of football, because everybody says teams has to be. They say teams has to be going up in December, right? December is when you want to be playing your best football. This team played their best football in October.
Yeah, my man Jeremy got a question too. I agree with you.
They're still winning.
They're still winning.
Still winning.
Jeremy, so how confident are you that they can win regardless of who the matchup is? You already know where I'm at, so go ahead. But Glenn, you already know where I'm at, because I told you I don't care who they play. So
I don't care who they play. I mean, I will see if they play Tampa tonight. If the Rams lose, they play Tampa. Fine, right? You can create, if you're head coach, you can create that locker room talk, right? Hey, they beat us the first game of the season, blah, blah. We better, just that and up, right? Yeah. And if they play the Rams, you can say, you know what?
They should get back.
You can build locker room talk there too, right? So to me, the first round is not who doesn't matter who they play, because with the NFL, it's going to get reshuffled after the first round anyway.
Exactly.
So to me, it doesn't play who they play the first round. It's only 1 or 2 teams, right? It's only the Rams or the Bucks, right, at this point. So that's who we know. We know where they're playing. We know where they're going. They're either going to Tampa or they're going to LA, right? So either one of those teams, and I want to use the word scare me. I think this team can play with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it that way. I think this team can play with both of them.
Yeah.
And I think if this team can limit mistakes and this team can score, and this team will be okay. They got a week to prepare, right? Whether it's Saturday or Sunday. And I think this team will be ready to play the playoffs. I have confidence in Dan Quinn and his staff, right? I have confidence in guys like Bobby Wagner, who's been there before, right? Who's been at this type of level. I got confidence in that type of guy. The leadership. We saw what Bobby Wagner did early in the year when his team really needed to win, how he gathered them around him and got this team motivated to come out and play, right? So I can see something like that happening this week for playoffs. And I can see Bobby Wagner leading this team. And people can say, I like Jonathan Allen, I like Deron Payne. But guess what? This is Bobby Wagner's team right now. This is Bobby Wagner's defense.
For sure.
What's your bro?
To answer Jeremy's question, man, I'm confident in whoever we play. Yeah. And I'll say this, I'm confident in whoever we play because the team has done enough to get to this point in the season. They've done enough to get to the playoffs. So whoever's in front of us, right, we just got to beat them, no matter how it looks, no matter how it's done. But I am confident that we can play with both of these teams. Like Glenn said, you already have the written in there right there with Tampa. They already beat you once. So you're going to let them sweep you? You know what I'm saying? No, we want to get our get back on them. You know what I'm saying? And the Rams, Rams are a good ball club. The Rams are blocking you from your blessing right now. You have to beat them in order to get to your next level. So if you want to do it, you got to go do it. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like I'm confident in whoever we play. And as the season goes along, bro, whenever 5 is in the game, I'm confident that he will find a play or find a way to get us the win. And now lately, if 18 is in the game, it's I'm confident that we're in there. But I'm confident that the coaching staff, like Glenn said, the coaching staff will have this team prepared to play. I think JD5 will clean up some of his mistakes, and this is where you make your money. This is where you make the name for yourself. The league found out about him last week against Atlanta on a grand stage, but they'll really find out next week when we play that game, nationally televised playoff game. You come out here and truly can make a name for yourself and get us to the next level. Jaden Daniels will live in the lore forever of NFL football, and so I'm confident whoever we play that we'll go out and get it done.
Deluxe says I want Tampa because it's much easier to fit in a quick trip to watch. Verse.
Yeah.
They can beat the Rams, but a tougher game versus the Bucks. I think at the way the teams are playing now, I think the Rams are tougher than the Bucks right now at this particular point in the season.
They already fired Mayo. The Patriots fired.
All right. I saw that. Let me comment on that real quick. Right.
Go ahead. Comment. While I be quiet.
Mayo is Robert Kraft's boy. Right. They've been cool. Mayo. People don't understand, and I got some inside information on this, and I'll tell you guys offline. Mayo was is financially good, but he was getting ready to walk out last year, right? To retire, leave the organization, but was promised a head coaching job, right? And so they knew he was going to be the heir apparent for Bill Belichick, right? So for him to be fired, he doesn't care in that sense. Okay. It's like I knew I was going to be interim. For him to fire him, they may have somebody better. But I don't care who they would have put in that position this year.
Oh, you think they would get?
Whoever they would have put in that position this year would have been the same situation.
So it was a lame duck situation.
It was a lame duck situation,
almost like when with the Houston Texans with Cully that year.
Yep.
And a couple other situations, the 1 year. But you know what? I feel like even regardless if he didn't want to leave, I feel like it's happening this year. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of coaching changes this year, where guys that's 1 or 2 years. Like I think Antonio Pierce is gonna get fired.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna move on for him. Like I think
Jets got to get a new head coach.
The Jets got to get a coach. Chicago got to get a new coach. Yeah. This will be a lot of things. And I heard this morning that teams might be looking to trade for Kevin O'Connell out of Minnesota to be their coach. That's what Jay Glazer reported this morning. Is that
stay where you at. You got Jefferson. Stay where you at, dog.
Dallas is gonna need a new coach because I don't think McCarthy's gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I think McCarthy's coming back.
They're talking.
No, he get fired.
They're talking if Sirianni get a quick playoff exit, Sirianni could be gone. Like it's gonna be a lot of shuffling.
I heard about Sirianni. He can go though.
They've been wanting Sirianni since like week 2. He just went on a winning streak. They want Sirianni in Philly for like since week 2. They just waiting for him to mess up.
Steichen with the Colts. He might be gone based on how that whole Anthony Richards thing went. And then you look at it like this, right? When you're a team that needs a quarterback, is it advantageous for you to get a new coach in there while you're doing that? Because Chicago did the same thing that they did the past few times. They kept the coach and got a new quarterback and then fired the coach after the first year. So you instantly, in the second year of the quarterback, he's already going to be on his second coach, second quarter. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well do a one fell swoop like we did. We did all 3: GM, coach, quarterback, and now we set for the next 10 years.
Hey, shout out Chicago for getting the win today.
Shout out to them, bro.
First win since the Hail Mary.
Good God, that's crazy, bro.
Oh yeah, we were on
that is crazy, bro. We crushed them, bro.
We crushed.
But they helped. Hey, if we'd have lost, they helped us out.
That's why I heard when they lost, I was like, oh, we good. I don't care what happens in this play. Following question by Jeremy has a follow up question. He says, if they do not win, is it a huge disappointment? Nah, I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with it, but it depends on how they play.
Oh, okay, they're sloppy. That's a good one.
Yeah, if it's sloppy, it's a disappointment. If a team flat out just beat them, like if the Bucks come out next week and beat them, is back and forth, and the Bucks win or the Rams win, I'm not mad. But if Washington have a 5 turnover game, JD don't do well, yeah, I'm kind of upset. I ain't gonna say a lot to you.
I think this is where all the mistakes in the regular season will truly make me mad. And they don't pay off if you don't get the dub. I think only thing next week, George mentioned that with a huge blowout. I think that would be the only thing. But no, I'm not.
That's where I'm at too. That's where I'm at.
I'm not going to be disappointed because that's a part of it, man. You win some, you lose some. Yeah. I would like to see them win, and I think they can win. But I just don't want to see them look bad. And then on top of that, I don't want them to lose doing things that actually have been working for them, right? Like I don't want Jaden to flip a switch and just try to be a different player than what he's normally been this year. Like I don't want anybody to do that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
If as long as they play within themselves and do what they've been doing, and if they get a dub, that'd be great. But if they lose, it's okay. I'm not worried about it.
Could y'all imagine what would the city be like? Right? Somehow they're the 6th seed, right?
Yeah.
Somehow they end up with a home playoff game, which is a strong possibility. If seven
not strong, it's not a strong possibility now.
If they in the divisional round,
I can say this because I think Green Bay can get Detroit or Minnesota.
Green Bay ain't beat Detroit all year.
They only lost by 3.
They ain't beat them.
So for them to get a home playoff game, that would take what? That would
seven seed has to be.
They got to get to Green Bay. Got to get to. They got to get to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, Green Bay got to get the NFC Championship.
We got to get there.
And we got.
So that's what I'm saying. You make like, and we got to get there
because
that's parity though.
If Green Bay wins,
it ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy to say. It ain't easy.
You see the key word "if," right? I say if this happens.
But you say like it's quite. As you say you say it's quite possible. It's not quite possible.
No, not quite possible. I said if this happens, but I
definitely if it happens, it'd be great. It'd be great.
I believe Green Bay will beat Detroit. Whoever the number 1 seed is, I think Green Bay will beat the number 1 seed.
Okay. I don't know, Grant. I don't think they. I mean, Detroit is they are dealing with injuries. So I'll say that much. They are dealing with injuries. Yeah. That's the best way I can say it. Because Detroit has been the most consistent team in all of the NFL. I mean, no, in the NFC, they've been the most consistent team in the NFC. That's what I will say. And they haven't just beaten teams. They've smacked teams. They've smacked good teams too. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see, bro. We'll see. Like. Will they? I think Green Bay has a lot of flaws. I like their quarterback. I like Love, but he does a lot of dumb, like a lot of you like. Why are you throwing that pass, bro? He has one of that in.
It's about running game though. Jacobs is one of the best.
Yeah, but they are still a passing team. Even when they run, they are a passing team. They like to throw the football. Deluxe says, "Get Biadasz, Lucas, and hopefully Lattimore back next week. Biadasz is the biggest impact in my opinion. Who do you think?"
Yes,
Lattimore, I mean, Biadasz is big, but Lattimore is the biggest impact for me because at least on the defensive side of football, it'll allow us to kind of hide some other things. This defense has not been good. I'm gonna keep it a bit. It has not been good. No. And I think that maybe Lattimore will help us be able to stop the run a little bit more, getting more people in the box. Because us stopping the run and we all know watching football, if you can't stop the run in the postseason, the exit that you can exit much early. Much earlier than possible. Like then you would want to exit. But go ahead, DH. You want to say something?
I think Biadasz is the most important because of his impact on the run game, and I think that's something that when our run game is working, we're working. So I think Biadasz is the most important piece to that. But Lattimore is very important as well. But I think Biadasz is the most important piece because if he can help us get that run game back on track, I'm gonna tell you. That might be the key for the playoffs. We talking about what would be a success, what would be a disappointment, what would be what. If we get the run game back on track, this is a different. We might be talking about a different team in the playoffs if we get the run game back on track. If the run game gets on track, then who knows what can happen in the playoffs because then you have a different style of ball that can be played. Guys can affect the game differently, and teams now have to really account for Jaden. They really have to count for B-Rob, Eckler, Rodriguez, and Jeremy McNichols if the run game can get back on. You know what I mean?
like this about Indian Lake, Ohio. It's an unbelievable last drive. Terry made 3 contested catches. Marcus with that run. Best fourth and 1 run since Jim Riggins. Ertz, big catches. O-line backup players held on line in that last drive. Great win. Yeah, I feel like all your points are great, bro. Real talk. All your points are great. I do feel like we talked about Terry and this, that, and the other, but yeah, that last drive by Terry was amazing though. I do want to kind of give him flowers. That last drive was amazing because some of those catches were contested. They were in short windows, and he held on to the football. We talked about like he didn't start the game pretty strong. He had some drops, but in that drive, like that's where I think that's when you become like that type of player, right? Where everything's on the line. You can lose the game on every little pass, and you made all the big catches that your quarterback needed, including the game-winning touchdown pass. Reception. So yeah, big up to Terry McLaurin too as well.
To answer the question, man, they need Biadasz and Lucas. They need the offensive line, right? And I say that because I've been referenced October a lot because if you go back to this, the Bengals game, this team put up a points when the offensive line was healthy and everybody was still healthy. This team was clicking on all cylinders. And I think this is what this team needed. I think this is why they set them out this week. So they know they go as the offense goes, right? They know they go as the offense goes. Let's see how many we can put on the board, and let's see if we can get 1 or 2 stops. The whole team's at field goals. So with Lattimore, yes, it makes a little bit of a difference. We saw that when he's on the field, it opens things up for the D-line, right? Because he can lock down one half of the field. and you can get guys put 8 in the box. But I think if you put 8 in the box and this team ain't scoring points, it don't mean anything. This team has to put points on the board. I mean, not just threes. This team has to put 7s on the board. So that offensive line is what you need more so. To me, it's more important over Lattimore.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I like this too. I mean, I get your point. That's cool. Your points are all you're valid. They're totally valid. Totally, like they're very valid points. I just need Lattimore back there. I'm sorry. I just need Lattimore back there. I mean, I can't see St. Juice. I can't. And a lot of that stuff wasn't his fault though. And again, I'm gonna go back and saying that a lot of some of that stuff wasn't his fault.
If St. Juice cost this team a playoff win, if St. Juice cost,
I would just rather. I would just rather give this defense an opportunity to like try to keep JD, like keep the game close. You know what I mean? I can't have St. Juice being out there worried about everything because he panics.
He might really need to go work at Kroger if he calls this team a playoff win.
But I will say, like, other than his first holding call was actually a legit holding call because he just he does St. Juice things. But like I said, the PI wasn't his fault though. That was not a PI for real. So, all right,
man, they look for him. He
has a reputation too now, so it's obviously that's a thing. But I just want referees to call what you see, not what you think. That's all I care about.
Right?
Like, don't just because it's St. Juice and you think he's gonna, do something in this situation. Call what you see. Don't just say, okay, that's a PI. Like, nah. Call what you see. But all right, who for you all, man? Who was a guy that you were like, yeah, man, was him? He balled out today. Game ball. Get a game ball. Who gets your game ball?
Marcus Mariota gets mine.
Okay. Yeah, he did deserve it.
Marcus Mariota gets my game ball.
Yeah.
In an effort not to be repetitive, I'm gonna give the game ball to Terry McLaurin.
I like that.
I feel like Terry set the record this year for touchdowns with 13. And then Terry, his whole way he played the game today it's kind of been the example the example of Terry is that regardless of how it looks, regardless of what happens, Terry is always going to fight for this team. Terry is going to always continue to play, and Terry's going to always do his best going up, even if before the game and early in the game where it didn't look good. And winning time when it counted, he got it done. So I'm gonna give my game ball to number 17, scary Terry McLaurin. And he took the mask off today. Did y'all see? I love that celebration. Yeah. Terry getting a little funky now with that mask. Now I love it, man.
Oh man,
who your game ball go to, Wally?
Yeah, I was gonna go. I like this one, but it's too easy because then the folks gonna say I'm favoritism because Mikey is just my guy. He's a Michigan dude, so I can't always go with my Michigan guys. So I'm gonna go with somebody who had a sack, man. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Allen. Came back and he got a sack. So Jonathan Allen, you come back, finally got your first sack coming back, off of the injured list. So just getting ready for the season. I think that's something that's really important. We talk about having guys going into the postseason with something positive, really gaining momentum. Him getting a sack in this game is good for him going into the postseason. So I'll go with Jonathan Allen.
He's quietly played well since he came back, bro.
Yeah.
Like I love what he does with this D line, man. The defensive line got some pressure today, man. They caused Trey Lance to have happy feet and kind of move around a little bit. But man, I love him being back. And I think my whole narrative on Jonathan Allen kind of changed. I feel like he wants to be here, and I think he sees what the potential is with this team going forward. So I think you won't get an off season like you got last year from Jonathan Allen. He gonna keep his mouth closed and do the work. And he finally is on a team with good coaching, with good front office, and somebody that he really wants to play for and feels like that they can play for.
Yeah, to your point though, I mean, it's like Deron Payne, they've been away from a winning culture for so long. Like a true winning culture. I know they got obviously we had that, the COVID year we went to the postseason, but like a true winning culture, like what you saw in Nick Saban, right? And there was a style of really winning football games and really being disciplined and being on your P's and Q's and whatnot, right? And I do think he sees it here, like you said, like this team's about to go to the postseason. He wants to be a part of it, and not just being in the postseason, just walking in. This team has an opportunity to win a game or two in the postseason. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's very important to really put out there. Like, they're not just a team that, they happen to be in the postseason. This team has the capability of winning a game in the postseason because of JD5 and because of this coaching staff too, as well. You know, so I do think that Jeremy C's on decline on his prime. I mean, he's come back from injury, so that's hard to. But he did have his best years earlier. Definitely, I agree with that though. But I do think that he sees it, and I think you need a different level of effort. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel like Jonathan Allen has helped this team. But go ahead.
And we don't know how free agency is going to affect this team next year. I really think we're gonna. I look, man. I think they are going to have some big name players in here in free agency. Guys going to want to come here. It may be a trade to be able to be forced to get here. But I think this roster, even though it looked completely different this year, it may look even more different next year. They may be able to fill some of those holes. Like John Bates, he might be gone. They'll have a pass catching tight end, somebody that can rely on. I think Ertz still might be here next year. But you look at those second tier players. We mentioned that on other episodes. It's the second tier of players that we're trying to get better. If we can get those guys better, I think we'll be in a better situation.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I like this one by Darnell. He said, "Game ball goes to Jeremy Chin." He was good. Jeremy Chin was good.
He's earned a contract. He's earned a contract to me. He earned money. Really good. I want him. I think that should be the first thing they get done is re-signing Jeremy Chin. You got dibs on him first, but I definitely think they should re-sign him. He's earned a contract here with us, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I like that one. I didn't even think he did ball out. He balled his butt off. All right, so before we end the show, DH man, let folks know how to get in touch with you, how they can tap in.
Hey man, everybody can pull up. Well, if you pull up here enough, you can catch me here, man. But you can pull up to Breaking Command ENT on YouTube, man. Where we every Friday now we finally have a locked in day of when we're gonna actually do the afternoon kick with Rio Robinson and myself. Every Friday at 5 p.m. On the channel. You can always hit me up on X at Breaking Command Pod. And yeah, man, just hit us up, man. We have a lot of things going on the channel. We have a new gaming feature that's on the channel now. So there'll be some live streams for video games. There's going to be more Breaking Command Pod episodes coming back. And then we have the live capability with the afternoon kick. You'll also be able to see some more vlogs and stuff that's happening. I'm working on the ESPN 630 vlog from last week when I went up to see Mike Callow. So that'll be up shortly. So y'all just hang out with me, man. Breaking Command ENT, man. Pull up. It's a lot of stuff in there for everybody. And shout out to the Commanders for keeping me motivated to do content and for keeping it going, man. So I appreciate y'all, of course. And I appreciate everybody in the chat for always pulling up and supporting your boy. Thank you.
Hey, Paul, we ain't gonna know your question, man. That's a whole pod situation.
Yeah, there's a whole pod. Yeah,
that's a pod. We're gonna do that pod. We're gonna do it at the end of the season.
Matter of fact, let's do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that on Thursday.
I want to be on that episode, man.
Thursday. I was thinking about end of the season when it's all said.
Oh, you know what? Let's do end of the season. That makes sense.
When it's all said and done. I thought about that earlier this week. So at the end of the season, when it's all said and done,
can that be a yeah, can we collab that at the All Burgundy Breaking Command? Can we just do a one big podcast for that, man? I want to be on that.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, we down with that.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Put on both channels, get it popping. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we down with that. Let's work out the particulars.
There we go. We got we gotta get a Mega Powers handshake, bro.
All right, okay.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Before we're about to end this show, and George wants to come on. I can tell, we're about to end the show. So, George, I'm gonna let you get one little shot, and we out. All right, here go, George. Got George on here. George, what you got? Go ahead, George.
I'm driving over the Skyway. It was perfect. The Bears field goal went through just as Mariota threw that touchdown. Bring on, because I don't know what the score in the Seattle game is, so I'm just going to assume it's Tampa. Bring on the Bucks next week.
Well,
let's go,
folks think it's going to be the Rams, so. No, who said no? Is it the Bucks or the Rams? I don't know who it's going to be. I ain't going to lie to y'all.
I think
if Seattle wins, it'll be the Bucks.
All right. If the Rams win, is it what does the Rams win?
If the Rams win, we play the Rams. If Seattle wins, we play Tampa.
Okay. There you go. All right. That's what it is. Okay. So, all right, we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully, we're in. That's all we know. And we got 12 wins. We're okay. Paul said 17-10 Seattle right now. So, look, hopefully we're 12-5. Hopefully we win the game. That's all that matters. We win the playoff game next week. That's where we're at. That's where I'm at right now. But we're going to talk about that on the pregame for next week because we got a pregame playoff show. Whenever that is. Once we get the schedule, wherever that is. All right. That's all you guys need to know. But we will have a pod on Thursday night at 9:30. And you guys can pull up to that as well. You know what I mean? We haven't thought of the topic. We haven't thought of the topic. But when we come up with the topic, it'll probably be something dope about playoffs or something. It's gonna be something dope. You know what I mean? Because we gotta celebrate the goodness of it. It's gonna probably be positive. I ain't gonna be negative on that one. I'm not gonna mention any negative.
It better be positive, dog. Look, before the game, it's got to be positive.
Yeah,
save the negative pod until to a Tuesday or something after what happens. No, Tuesday is Ravens night, right?
Yeah. Actually, truth be told, Tuesday. And then the following. Actually, the negative pod is something bad. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about negative pod. There's no negative.
We ain't gonna have no negative.
Yeah, exactly. There ain't gonna be no negative pod. That's how ain't gonna be no negative pod. That's what we're doing right now. But anyway, before we end the show, subscribe. I want to make sure I still reiterate that you got to subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. And it's up on IG and TikTok at ABG_everything. If you're on YouTube right now, like this video, hit the like button. Also, if you haven't, hit the subscribe to us right now. But I think Glenn set it up so where if you're on our chat, you subscribed anyway. So it doesn't.
You gotta be in there to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. But anyway, if that's the case, tell somebody else to subscribe. Appreciate you. You're the real MVPs. And I also appreciate all the folks out there who gave us super chats, man. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for that too. Y'all didn't have to do that, but we appreciate y'all for real. But anyway, man, it's been a great day. I mean, at the end of the day, we're 12-5. You hear all my negative talk, but okay, we're 12-5. We beat the Cowboys, so I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I love beating the Cowboys. That's one thing I love in life. You know what I mean? I love tequila, but I haven't drank in a while. Tequila, I like water. I love Magic Johnson, and I love I love my family.
Cowboys.
I love my family. I love my friends. I love beating the Cowboys. Like I get such a good feeling about beating the Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
Also, there's one thing I love, but it's X-rated. I can't tell y'all, but I do. But I love the Cowboys. I love beating the Cowboys. Anyway, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports City, Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia for ages. You dig? Deuces. We out.